kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
Hello. Let's get rid of this welcome sign. There we go. How's everybody? Happy Thursday. We're kind of approaching the last week of June now, and July is going to be a new month, new quarter. So for today, what we have prepared for you is actually something interesting. We took a week hiatus. I had to travel and actually took a lot of videos and photos on some of the properties that we are looking at and we have put under contract. So I thought it would be very interesting to kind of look at some of these photos and videos. We'll focus on that today. And any questions that you all have, feel free to ask. And I think we're preparing for next month, to have some new content in our classes and add a subject to type of class, master class. Just kind of talk about, I think it's on two angles. One is as a deal maker, right? You're trying to put it under contract, right? So how do you structure the deal? How do you underwrite the deal for a sub two? And then the other side is as an end buyer, right? Why would sub two be attractive for you, comparing to buying it in a traditional way, or buy a property that needs to get fixed up and then turn it into a rental. There's some advantages, right, and disadvantages, pros and cons. So we'll dive further into those. Okay, now let's get started. And again, if you got deals you want us to look at, we can do that also. In fact, right before this, I had a call with a distressed seller. She has a foreclosure that's happening on July 7th. And so we kind of did a little bit of deep dive in her numbers and just trying to see if we can come up with an option to help her stop the foreclosure and get the property sold. We can look at that if you're interested. So if you're interested, let us know. Put on the chat, and I can pull up the numbers real quick. I took some notes. All right, so this event is brought to you by Real Estate IQ, right? We brought you fresh off-market leads data. Pre-foreclosure is, to me, the ones that can get the most traction the fastest, because every single month we have thousands of these motivated sellers across different states. In fact, we start piloting into new states in Michigan, Ohio, Oklahoma, and Georgia. So very exciting stuff happening here. And we have clients that have started marketing there. So something that could be very interesting. Another thing that that we started piloting is the cash buyers list. So that's also kind of very interesting as a deal maker, because on one side you want to reach out to the sellers, on the other side, right, you want to match them with the buyers, and when you can do that, you can capitalize on the deals. Okay, let's advance to the next slide. All right, Real Estate IQ, we have a website. You can scan the QR code. Usually, obviously, if you're attending our weekly live stream, you're gonna catch all the weekly, most important news that's happening. And you can also go on the website. Let's say you missed the live stream, you want to catch it. The live stream is on the website. You can watch that. And also any kind of news that's related to real estate investments, you can also capture it here. I'm going to skip over the success stories, and quick disclaimer, everything that we shared in this live stream and our classes too is for educational purposes only, right? Every single case is different. We don't, investment is risky. And so, right, you got to do it with care and diligence. You don't necessarily make a profit in every single deal, although we try to do that. The best way to de-risk it is to get educated, right? Kind of see as many cases and understand as many techniques and methods as possible to help de-risk. And we don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice, right? This is for educational purposes only. I want to pull up something here. Okay, got it. And if you need help closing a deal, right, kind of structuring it so that you can make a profit from the deal, we're more than happy to help you. You can send an email to myself, and we're more than happy to look at it for you and see how we can help you get it closed. All right, so let's talk about the market updates. Okay, the 30-year fixed rate now is it's come down a little bit. We were at what 6.58 for a few weeks, and now it's hovering back to a little bit under 6.5. In general, we're going from 6.4, 6.5 ish. We find that, me personally, when I make calls to distressed sellers, kind of being able to quote some of that ongoing market rate when we learn more about their mortgage rate. Obviously different people have different approaches. I find that approach kind of very quickly establishes you as a market expert, right? You're on top of what the mortgage rate is, what the ongoing rate is, and if they have like a 3% mortgage interest, right, that makes it a much more attractive deal structure for subject to, which can be for a lot of folks that don't have a lot of equity, that could be a very advantageous way to help them sell the house. All right, so that's the rate. That's why we're I guess showcasing or like sharing with you the rate on a weekly basis, just so you're on top of the rate and you can educate the seller on the rates. Texas has become a buyer's market. There are over 141,000 homes available in inventory, and the median days on market is now 82 days, and that's just the median. Typically it takes over 100 days from list to sale, and depending on your local market, you should also learn that. That's also, to me, opportunity to educate the distressed seller, and then also just kind of help them understand that sure, they can list on the market, but it's gonna take over 100 days, and the foreclosure is coming. Like the next foreclosure coming up is in less than 2 weeks. So something has to be done very quickly about the property. There are over 10.7 months of supply now. So if you're holding properties and you can't move it, that's why. And something to kind of still look at, I think, is there's still a big housing shortage in nationally, and likely in your local market too. So maybe consider turning that into a rental. And then another thing to also keep in mind of is the new housing bill that was, I think, signed by, I believe it passed the Senate, that has some housing reform proposals on there. And there's a lot of kind of political movements going on that particular bill. It's my intention to study that and then kind of share those highlights with you next week. Okay, in Houston, there's a lot of rental demand now because of the World Cup, and that rental demand has climbed 7% year over year. At the same time, the home sale has fallen 7% in May of 2026, and inventory has jumped 36% to 5.7 months. So again, the housing movement is slowing down, right? Affordability is kind of affecting that. Interest rate being heightened also doesn't help. So you would find that it's easier to talk to sellers and get them under contract. And then it's gonna shift a little more to the other side with finding the right buyers who are still interested in acquiring in this market, which tends to be somebody who is wanting to kind of grow their portfolio in this market today. We had some feature deals, but my intention was to show you 4 deals, photos of the 4 deals that we looked at. Let me go over these kind of feature deals real quick. Some of them are actually going to be, we have photos that we'll showcase here. All right, so in the Dallas area, there's a Little Elm property. This would be a subject to opportunity, maybe a wrap. In Lancaster, there's a short sale opportunity. This one's a lot of work, so it's gonna be for somebody who is experienced in managing projects and kind of a little bit on the bigger side, right? There's foundation work that needs to be done. Kind of like a interior makeover is what this house needs. Okay, this house is under contract, very close to getting closed. This is one of the properties I have taken videos of in Freeport, which is kind of the south side of the Houston area, really close to the beach. This house will showcase as well. It's a good subject to. The numbers make sense. There is, it turns out there's quite a bit of work that's needed on this house. So we're gonna look at the photos and the video. This is gonna be, I think we're gonna end with this one. It's quite a shocking visit. And then we have a short sale in Conroe. Full share. This one is also set to close in the next week, upcoming week. In the Austin area, we have a sub 2 in Elgin. And then in Tampa, oh, okay. So we'll look at this property as well in Riverview, which is on the east side of the Tampa Bay, and there's still a lot of kind of development that can happen here. A lot of open land, and also the interest rate is in a good place. Okay, so let me close this window, and then we're gonna look at the photos. That's kind of what we'll spend the rest of our time on today. Let's look at this one. All right, I'm gonna show the photos, and then we'll show the video. All right, so this is everybody can see, right? Let me see if I can do full screen. Here, enter full screen. Okay, there we go. So this is Freeport. This is a block from the beach, actually, and you can see that the houses are all on studs. The cars you can park under the house, and the house is actually kind of on top, right, with the balcony and everything. So this is on the outside. This is the property itself. It's rent ready. We got it under contract for a short sale. There's, from a number standpoint, it's hard to make a sub 2 work. I think it can still work, but the seller prefers a short sale as the exit. So it's put together as an Airbnb. It's move-in ready. It's rental ready, and you can basically park 2 cars in here, and there's some amenities, water filter, filtration system, everything. Okay, this is the inside of the house. I have a video too. So this one has 2 bedrooms. The space on the left, there is a couch that you can pull out, so you can sleep 2 more. This is kind of the living area. I think these 2 chairs, like this kind of love seat, is right in front of a TV. This is the kind of inside before you walk in the house. So you can kind of hang out here. So the house is in very decent condition. It's kind of recently remodeled. Okay, so this is the downstairs. Okay, I think the video is the one that shows the interior. So let me bring that up. Okay. So this is the pull-out couch. Full bath. I don't know if you guys can hear. This is another full bath. Master bath, but it's also here. I'll probably take a picture from the outside. Okay. Yep, that's what we got for this house. What do you guys think? All right. let's look at this other one. This is the house in Freeport. Also, I got a couple of videos. Oh, this is only 6 seconds. So let's look at this one. Yeah. Here, earlier video. The left side is the bedrooms. Bathroom. I think there is probably the other half of the house too. So let's see. Okay, this is the other side. Here. Kitchen. Living room. Continue on this side. Living room. This door leads to the outside. That's the garage over here. Yes, ma'am.
When they rent,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, they take off the ceiling fan?
no,
So what do you think? Which deal do you like more? So the answer is obviously how much are you gonna acquire it for? So the second one looks a little more dated and needs more work, but if we can acquire at a good price, then it's good. All right, so let's look at the Riverview. Full screen. Okay, so this is the exterior of the house. I think this one I took, was it this week? No, on Saturday, just this past Saturday. So here's the house. Let's see. Next on this side. So this house doesn't have a fence. All the neighboring houses has a fence. Aside from the fence, the house looks to be in good shape. Okay, no foundation issues, right? It's been kept up, pretty well. So just some cleaning, deep cleaning. Maybe repaint the walls to brighten up the house. Here's the kitchen, utilities room, the garage. They're using it for a living area. And then these are the couple of bedrooms. I think there are 3 bedrooms. One here, full bath there. This is the other bedroom. Okay, third bedroom. So there are 4 bedrooms. The master bedroom, I was not able to take a photo. It was locked. And this is what the backyard looks like. And you can see the roof looks, to be in good shape. Everything looks decent. Just doesn't have a fence. And then we got some bonus photos of the bay and the water. Okay. So that's the river view in Tampa. Could be a good rental. All right, so now let's look at this one. And I think I'll show you this is the one in Houston. I think I'll show you the photos first, and then I'll show you the video. Okay, so if you recall, the slide that we have, was kind of showcasing a glimpse of what it used to look like, right, on Zillow, and it was in a pretty nicely maintained, pristine condition. So this is what it looks like now. The house is now vacant, and it's actually infested by rats. And so we're gonna see a lot of mess, and I will show a video of that as well. So these are the photos. And this is a divorce situation, so nobody oh, looks like this one, that's a garage door that got boarded up now, and it's gonna need to be repaired. A lot of stuff. Look at that. A lot of mess, big mess. And within our group, we have folks that like to kind of take and keep furnitures for furnished rentals. And sometimes when we buy houses, the seller doesn't want any of the stuff, and so all this could be furnishing for the furnished rentals. Well, all of these are rat infested, so I don't know if we're gonna keep those for that purpose. Okay, and conditions like this is not surprising either. I think the fact that it's infested by rats is something that's a little more rare, perhaps. Okay, we took really good photos. Look, these are the droppings of rats. Oof! Look at that. So it's gonna need a really nice cleanup. Oh, looks like in the back there's a pool in there. Oh no, it's a bungee jump. No, is it bungee jump? Okay, I think we're almost done here. This is entrance to the backyard. Okay. So let me show you the video now. Okay, I need to flip it. Edit. Rotate right. Okay, shit. There we go. All right. Okay. I hope you can hear the audio. If you can't hear it, let me know.
So they're downstairs.
All right. Right. Okay. So that's what we have. And I might have a phone call coming in. Have a good rest of the month. And we'll talk to you next month with a lot of all new content. Okay, can everyone hear me now? But I think it sounds like some voice, I guess the audio was lost for a second. Is that right, Catherine? So what I was saying is that next week and next month in general, we're gonna do a deep dive in subject 2. We'll invite Chris and Rachel back and teach us on sub 2, and as a buyer, what's an attractive deal to you, and and their purpose is to continue to build a big rental portfolio, which is fantastic. They've been doing a really good job, a lot of momentum. So we're gonna invite them in and kind of teach us what sub 2 look like, and what as a buyer kind of what they look at. And we also kind of follow the housing bill. That's a big deal. There's a lot of political dancing going on what who's gonna sign it, is gonna get passed and signed into law. But a lot of the items on there is going to affect how we play the real estate investment game. So we want to do a deep dive and kind of really learn what it's about and how we can take advantage of it. So that's all we have for you, and look forward to next month and a lot of kind of practical learning on how we can play better at the real estate investment game. All right, have a good day, everybody, and see you in July.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting, and I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations, and of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.